Alrighty, we are live once again. So for anybody out there joining us right now, we say thank you. For the people that listen to us later, also thank you. Not as much of a thank you. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, it is Crystal's birthday. So we have a birthday girl today here doing this. So happy birthday.
Thank you. Still working on my birthday. No days off in baseball.
Of course not. Of course not. Never with baseball. And it's also DeGrom's birthday, too. And that leads into one of the first notes that we have is that Max Scherzer and, of course, the birthday boy, they've been throwing bullpen sessions and are hopefully going to return to the Mets very soon. But then, of course, they had Taylor McGill go out for 4 weeks. So it's interesting, though, with their overall rotation is so good that they've been playing as well as they have without DeGrom and Scherzer because you had McGill. So now he's going out, but then those two guys are coming back. So hopefully, like it won't be like they'll miss a beat at all. I feel like they won't.
Yeah, and McGill's been out before this too. So it's kind of crazy to think that you can have that great of a team and not rely on like your ace and another ace because they have like 4 of them, it seems like.
I know. Like they have their ace and then they have their highest paid man in Max Scherzer, who's also an ace too, because him and someone like Verlander just seem to age in reverse. Like they're just getting better. They're like a fine wine, really, which is crazy.
It's really annoying.
Yeah, true. Because I wish it's like you get somebody like that loses their fastball early on and then they can't figure it out, or then you have somebody whose fastball just stays with them into their like late 30s, which is also just kind of crazy in itself. We're supposed to be like getting worse as we get older, and now you just have like 37, 38-year-olds just playing the best that they've ever played. So it's kind of crazy to think about.
Man.
But the Mets are good, but they're not as good as the Yankees. But the Yankees, last time I checked, they did blow a hell of a lead. So let's see if that held against. They had an 8-3 lead against the Blue Jays that they blew.
Their bullpen had like imploded.
Of course, it's 10-9 now though because they're the Yankees, and it's only the bottom of the 8th. So
yeah. But it's 10-9 Blue Jays, so...
Yeah, so hopefully the Blue Jays can hold on to that 1-run lead because it was an 8-3 lead at one point. So we're kind of praying that, like, say they blow this game today, maybe they'll go on a skid. Even though if they play 500 baseball for the rest of the season, they still win, like, 97 games.
Oh, yeah, easily.
And it's disgusting. And I don't, for the life of me, understand how they are so good right now because they're virtually not that different from what they were last season. And last season they had to like scrape their way in, it's like, I don't know. I really don't get it. I don't get how they're so good. So hopefully they're going to start going on that like downward spiral. A girl can hope. But then there is always the joke that they're like, oh, if they break the record and win like 120 games, it'll be even more hilarious when they get like killed in the first rounds.
That's true. That's usually what I root for.
Yeah, so it's like, root for them to break that, 119 record, but then just to get completely embarrassed. Because I'm a sadist, so I appreciate things like that.
Yeah.
So, especially when it comes to the Yankees, because I hate the Yankees. But anyways, if you didn't know out there, I don't like the Yankees. I know, shocking, right?
Neither one of us do. Please still listen to us. Sometimes we do say nice things about them.
Yeah, Aaron Judge is going to be great next year when he's in San Francisco. Can't wait to root for him.
Yeah, totally. Like, they're going to have everybody. They just took your mean Mercedes.
Really? Oh. All right. Yeah, the Giants are going to be great.
They've got your mean. I'm like, well, should I just be a Giants fan?
It is like Gabe Kapler. I'll always root for Gabe, so I love it. But yeah, so that was one of the first things that we've got. But then you've got some notes about your boys and some things going on.
This is going to be an injury heavy like show today because Liam Hendricks is now out on a 15-day stint with a strained forearm, which doesn't sound great.
No, not when you're a pitcher.
Although Scott Merkin that covers Chicago White Sox, he did say that Liam is out throwing with his left hand just because he's bored and wants to keep busy because his teammates are annoying.
There's a lot of turmoil going on in that clubhouse, it seems, too, right there? Not just, like, what's going on, right?
There's, there's some stuff. Obviously they've been losing a lot and they've been really frustrated, and there's some potential baby mama drama with Tim Anderson right now.
I know, I heard this one too. What? These guys can't keep it in their pants over on the South Side.
And I don't know. And it's disappointing if that's true, but some woman posted this video of Tim in the car saying like baby daddy. And I'm like, oh boy, because his wife and daughters are just the best ever. Like, we stand them. But yeah, it may or may not be true. We probably won't know.
Hopefully
it's really none of our business.
True.
But
these people make it our business, though.
Yeah,
when you have
when you're an athlete and you have like a Dairy Queen sponsorship and your face is all over the TV, it's gonna get out there. It's gonna
especially if you have a wife and children that you're cheating. Like a part of me that thinks like, I hope for his sake this is all just crap and somebody just running their mouth. But if it's not, like, what makes you think that like you're gonna get away with this when you're in, like you say, in such a public eye? You play for a team that is supposed to be really good, that's just been underperforming, supposed to be one of the best teams in the league. Like you said, you do have a sponsorship. You've come out and said that you want to do outreach for your, people of African-American descent to get into this sport, because sport you love. You seemingly have this picture perfect family. Like, what are you doing if it's true? Like, what are you doing?
It sucks because I feel like it's just never enough for some people. Which
True. That really is what it is sometimes. Absolutely. It's like, oh, I can. Like, and that actually goes to, this actually can come into what I wanted to bring up a little briefly that I saw on Twitter. And it is somebody in the Chicago White Sox, like, writing, a woman named Rachel Milanta. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not too sure. She did write for Southside Sox. It said at one point, it says, today an MLB player asked me for sex and then got super shitty when I said no. So I told him the reason I wouldn't sleep with him was because his batting average was too low, and then he blocked me. So I'm wondering, like, who this is, or just what makes you think that that's okay? Like, that you could, I guess it's nice that he at least asked rather than maybe said, maybe said, hey, do you want to have sex? And you're like, no. But then it's like, oh, okay. And just like, I don't know. I just like, what is it?
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't talked to her about it. I wasn't going to pry, but I know her.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just like, and then some of the comments that she's been getting are just disgusting from people. I was like, what is happening? Like, why are you on this one? Why are you on the side of the player? And two, even if you're not, why are you just trying to then attack her? Like, this is the problem with women in this sport. No man really has to pretty much worry about one of the players coming up to him and saying, hey, you want to bang? Like, no, they don't have to worry about any of this. And then you get the one woman trying to do her job, and she gets this kind of shit from a player, and then gets continual shit from people on Twitter.
Yeah. I'm curious as to what that whole story is behind it. But again, I wasn't going to pry, but
Oh, of course. Of course you get some of the people being like, oh, you told us this. Well, just tell us who the player is.
Yeah. Just like somebody was like, well, just name it, like just say his batting average and we'll figure it out.
Yeah, right. I love that. And then you get the assholes that are like, I was like, this was phrased like a little bit of trauma that she went through. She was trying to phrase it in a funny tweet, which is every right that she has. Whereas you got some people being like, oh no, batting average, OBP, or this or that. And I'm like, it's a funny tweet of her dealing with this thing that she didn't want to have to deal with. Like, and it is still funny whether or not batting average, some people think is irrelevant or not. It's like the tweet itself is the funny nature of it. Like, should she have said, oh, his OPS was too low? No, the tweet is still funny in and of itself.
Yeah,
it's just ridiculous.
There's just a lot going on. And then Lance Lynn came back, and he might have been like the spark that they really needed. And I guess their third base coach, Joe McEwing, was like getting under his skin. They weren't like actually fighting, but it was over something just completely ridiculous to kind of get him riled up, because he was kind of slumping because it was his first time back on the mound. Yeah. And he got him really riled up, and then he came out and he was lights out again. So, there's a lot, and there's just always these injuries that are happening. Like, Kopech had fluid drained off of his knee. He's fine. He's pitching tonight. Manny Machado left the other night. He's getting an MRI. He had hamstring tightness running to first. And I was like, can we can we stop doing this, please? But they did shut out the Astros last night, and it was against Verlander, their ace. They shut him out. It was like 7-0 because they covered
nice.
it. So hey, I mean, at least they're doing that. I just need them to win maybe tonight for my birthday, but definitely tomorrow or Thursday when I'm there.
Perfect. Yeah, of course. You don't want to go to a loss. So maybe they'll win the next 3 for you. Yeah, it's a problem though. It's just like, of course, like there's 26 men in this clubhouse plus, everybody else that's in there. So of course there's going to be turmoil with anybody throughout the season, but it seems like not only are there's probably frustration because they're dealing with so many injuries as well as underperforming, and then dealing with a manager that probably nobody wants. At least the fans though. The fact that the fans were shouting "Fire Tony" is crazy to me.
His bullpen management is just so terrible. His lineups just make no sense anymore. Their hitting coach needs to go. Joe McEwing, their third base coach, probably needs to go too, because he's like sending them all the time. And I'm like, why? No, stop. Like, he just got tagged out and he was not even close. Like, it's so frustrating, as a fan to watch. It's frustrating as someone who covers this team to watch.
Yeah.
It's embarrassing that, we go on national TV and they're chanting "Fire Tony" because your manager is just so inept.
Yeah, that's a problem. The big problem with my Sox right now is that they literally almost blew 6-run leads twice in a 3-game set against the St. Louis Cardinals, because it's a bullpen issue overall, but I think there's a few issues that are there. They definitely need one more guy in there that is reliable. Like, that has to happen. Chaim knows this. So like the people that are like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like he did make improvements to the pen. Like Diekman was supposed to be good, and Diekman's big issue is he doesn't know how to throw strikes. So that could sometimes just blow up in your face. Matt Barnes deep faked everybody in the beginning of 2021. Like, complete deep faked us. Like, Bobby Dahlbeck also did a big deep fake too. So these are issues when you're deep faked like that. You're thinking Bobby Dahlbeck could turn into an Austin Riley or like a baby polar bear light. That was my thing, being like, oh, if he could be anything like Pete Alonso, like half of Pete Alonso, that would even be great. Yeah. And now he's terrible. Like, I'm sorry, Bobby. You're just bad at baseball. And it's fine. You're better than I'd ever be at baseball. Like, that's a fact, like 100%, but you're just not great at it. And it's okay. You made us think you were for a little bit. So like you had issues like that you were like, oh, I don't need to get a first baseman. Or Hansel Robles is so hot and cold that sometimes he's like the best reliever in baseball, and other times he just looks like he's taking a giant poop on the mound. So it's like when you just have unreliability to that, and then Alex Cora not naming a closer. I think we're slowly getting into that Tanner Houck is the closer. But that proves to be an issue when you go to Toronto. So then are you going to put Strom as the closer? So, because like Strom has been really solid. Houck has been really solid out there. So it's like you have a few guys that are actually really good. And like John Schreiber, who Chaim plucked out of like the trash heap, has been fantastic for the Red Sox so far this season. So you do have reliable guys there. You just need to add one more reliable person, because the big problem is the guys that aren't your best guys are just so bad that they don't know how to hold a 6-1 lead. Because like this, you are up 6-1. Your best reliever shouldn't be out there anyways. You're supposed to throw the guy that's kind of crappy out there to hold a 6-run lead. But they're such shit that they can't even hold that 6-run lead. Like that's the issue. So it's like, I don't know, maybe if you start putting more guys in there that are better, then the crappy guys aren't as crap. I don't know. It's just so tough, because today it's like, you're not Tanner Houck had to close it out, but like you shouldn't have Tanner Houck out there. You shouldn't have Strom out there. You shouldn't put your best guys in that situation. It's just your shitty guys are just so shitty. And that's a big problem. And yes, that is a Chaim Bloom problem. But again, I don't know what more. Yeah, if he got one more better reliever, sure, we're probably in a better position than we are right now. But that's something I think that can be done at the deadline. I think he needs to do it. I think he knows that he needs to do it type situation. But so yeah, my Sox won today, and I'm still frustrated.
They did. I saw that. I saw your tweets.
Oh,
We
thank
also
God.
have more injury news with Ozzy Alves. He suffered a fractured left foot during an at-bat on Monday. So he's now on the 60-day injured list.
That's awful.
I
love
feel
Ozzy.
so bad for him. He's got so much promise.
Ooh, so we have some Hector Neris of the Astros is suspended 3 games for throwing at the head of Eugenio Suarez. Like, what are we doing intentionally throwing? Like, we had the incident with Michael Lorenzen and throwing and just saying that he cannot grip on this ball, because that's another big issue is the balls in this game right now, and saying I just completely lost it. That's why he hit Justin Upton right in the head. But like here, if you're suspending someone 3 games, you're saying this was done with intention. Why are we throwing at people's heads?
Yeah, and originally he was suspended for 4. They changed it to 3, but still, I mean, yeah. And I wrote in the notes about Justin Upton too, which, gosh, that was brutal to watch.
You could hear that, like, that sound.
Oh.
Yeah, and like when Lorenzen just like he dropped both his hands and he walked immediately out to him, that like he had zero intention, and then coming out and saying like you should blame Major League Baseball because nobody can grip these balls.
Yeah. And I mean, the one to Justin was a 90-mile-per-hour fastball that went to his head. But, like you said, you could tell that wasn't intentional. But I don't know what's happening with the other one, because you don't suspend people for 3 to 4 games without believing there is some kind of intent there.
Yeah, and the head, like you want to hit them. Get him in the ribs, get him on the butt, get him in the thigh. Like there's things like this. I remember like it was like it almost, if it was before memes could become things, but I felt like it would have become a meme because it was a while ago. It was in the early 2000s, I think. It was Victorino, and somebody like tried to throw at his head and he ducked a little bit and he kept going like, hit me. You want to hit me? Like, hit me here. Like, don't, like, what are you doing? And he kept being like, hit me here. Like, do it. And it's like, what are you doing? Trying to hit people in the head. So that's how I've always felt like, yeah, what are you doing? You want to hit me? Sure. Hit me. Get me right in the ribs. Get me right here. But yeah, what are we doing trying to intentionally hit someone in the head?
Yeah. I mean, I tell my, children, if they're wrestling, just go anywhere but the face.
Yeah.
Leave the face and above alone.
Yeah, because it's ridiculous. Absolutely. So, oh God, ridiculous that we have that. Or then we just have some Miles Mikolas was robbed of a no-no. 8 2/3 inning of no-hit baseball against the Pirates. Cal Mitchell broke it up with a ground rule double. 1 strike away. That's maybe the most depressing thing I've heard all day.
I was watching that game, and I've got some Cardinals, mutuals, and I remember just apologizing to her, and I was like, I know that this is painful right now. You're in my thoughts, because man, that's brutal. I felt so bad. And for the Pirates to be the one that break it is even crazier to me. The Pirates get no hit all the time. Yeah. Why are we breaking it?
Right? Yeah. These poor people. It's always so sad to see something like that happen, especially when you work that like a strike away.
To Tyler Anderson. He lost his no-hitter bid. He had 1 out in the 9th, and Shohei Ohtani got a triple.
Oh, I did see that.
And then Robbie Ray lost his no-hit bid off his own glove. Grounder bounced off his glove with 2 outs in the 7th inning against the Angels. So there could have been a lot of no-nos this week.
I love the no-hit. Angels potentially getting no-hit twice in 1 week.
Right.
Oh, shit, man. That would be so awful.
It's embarrassing.
It really is. And I'm repping the Angels today. Just got my Trout shirt on, but my God, they're so bad.
They are really bad, which is funny because they still whooped up on my White Sox when I was there to see them play. But that's okay. No hard feelings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, poor Angels fans. And then we had, for the other people of the Los Angeles area, Walker Buehler had bone spurs removed from his right elbow, unrelated to his flexor strain, still expected to be out 10 to 12 weeks. I think that's really hurting them because, granted, they have 30, I think it's 39 wins on the season. Still doesn't feel like that's good enough for what this team's supposed to be and how good they're supposed to be. And their division is tight with San Diego and even the Giants. So, and they're definitely dealing. And Mookie, I know we have it in the notes too. Mookie Betts went down as well. So, and that's me saying, I don't ever want to see an injury for anybody, but that's me saying, you gave him how much money over 12 years and he's been injured multiple times already for your team.
Yeah.
He's 5'9". Get ready for these to happen quite often, Dodgers fans. We got the Red Sox. I'm very glad. Probably got the best of Mookie Betts. So yeah, we got it right here. And you get to pay for half of him and injured him. So congrats. But yeah, it happens. And it just happens, like especially when you're a younger guy, like smaller guys break down a lot easier. I mean, it's just a thing. But yeah, so they're dealing with some injuries over in Chavez Ravine, but they're still have an embarrassment of riches, so they're fine. Yeah, they're still gonna be fine because they're the freaking Dodgers.
But not fine are the Detroit Tigers right now.
Yeah.
We played them. The White Sox swept the Tigers earlier this week. The most brutal of all of those games. It was 13-0 loss against the White Sox, and that was the last game. They closed off the clubhouse. Press was not allowed to come into the clubhouse, and they were having a players-only meeting about how they just need to be better. And they said, it wasn't like hostile or anything. It was just like, those fans deserve better. We deserve better. Yeah. Also, we all deserve better than this.
Also, I was seeing things. Is there some weird things going on with Eduardo Rodriguez that he left the team and isn't coming back to the Tigers? I thought I heard a little something like that. And I was like, wow, maybe the Red Sox really did dodge a bullet.
Maybe. Also, Javier Baez is having his worst season ever with the Tigers. Yeah. Which I kind of love because I hate it.
I mean, I thought he was grossly overrated anyways. But yeah, it says Eduardo Rodriguez is on the restricted list due to personal matters. Due to a marital issue.
Marital issues.
Oh, whoa. Yeah, so I think he has to forfeit this money, though, when he's on this type of a list, though.
I'm pretty sure you do, yeah.
Oh, whoa, yeah. I also had heard, interesting enough, is when listening to Jared Carrabis's new podcast, he has Pat Light on the podcast with him, who used to be in the Red Sox briefly. He was in the minors. He came up with Eduardo Rodriguez, and he actually said that Eduardo Rodriguez was one of the most anti-teammates. That he was very to himself, very much about him. And that whole thing when he was doing the time thing, after trying to get back at Carlos Correa, and it was being players were like, what the hell are you doing? That he was all about himself. And that might be proving obviously you're dealing with some marital issues. That's something that you should be taking the time and dealing with. But it's also proving that other people go through marital issues and they're still doing their team and they're there for their team too. So it's you could see it both ways. But yeah, no, apparently he was not the best teammate. So people weren't necessarily too heartbroken over him. And he's having a not a great season either. So another one where I'm just all right, fine. We're paying half the money to Michael Wacha, and Michael Wacha is double as good as how he is. And then, you got Rodriguez not even being with the Tigers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Tigers tried to do, and I feel bad for a team that is seemingly trying to actually get better. They did things to say to their fan base, we're going to go out and we're going to try to get you a solid 3. Rodriguez has never been better than a 3, but he's always been a 3. So we're going to get you a good 3, a solid 3 to go in with our young guys, Casey Mize. But then of course, Casey Mize has to have Tommy John. And then you just we're going to go and get a really great shortstop that we think is a really great shortstop. He's not the best one on the market, but we're going to get him for you. And so it's doing these things to prove to their fan base that we're trying to improve for you, but then everything's just negatively impacting them. And that's unfortunate.
And, they were my sleeper team. Honestly, I thought this wouldn't be their year, but they would be great this year because on paper, they are excellent. They should be great. They have great, they have great players. They have Austin Meadows, who's incredible. He's one of my favorites. So this team should be really good on paper, and they're just having the worst year. And
Yeah, they should be a lot better. You're right than what
Yeah.
they were. Yeah, and I had them being like, oh, in a couple of like, give them a year or two, and they could
Yeah.
actually really be competing in that Central. And like, they still potentially can be, but you're losing KCMIs for this season and a good portion of next season,
Mm-hmm.
which is gonna be unfortunate for them. But hopefully for Tigers fans, because I have no ill will at all against the Tigers.
No,
I
like
hope,
the Tigers.
hopefully, they can be really good, but yeah, but losing your pitcher indefinitely, like you said, Javier Baez having like an extremely down season, it really hurts them. It does, and it's unfortunate that it's happening to a really good fan base.
Yeah.
Really,
I have no qualms with the Tigers. I never have.
no,
I grew
yeah,
up really close to them, their
mm,
ballpark. Got a lot of Tigers friends. I go on the Tigers podcast a lot. So I have this love for them. I'll be up there in September, but man, I just feel bad. They all
yeah,
deserve better than what's happening to them right now.
yeah, absolutely. And they're such a historic franchise too that it's like, oh, this is too bad. Absolutely. And then we got Marlins Girard. I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce it.
I think that's it.
Girard Encarnacion crushes a grand slam for his first career hit. I do love when things like that happen. That's like the same thing that happened with the Red Sox and Daniel Nava. And it was like the first pitch he ever saw too. And it was boom, like this huge grand slam. So it's always really great to see these guys do something huge.
It wasn't a grand slam, it was just a home run, but Wilson Contreras' first at bat for the Cubs. I was at that game because they were playing the Pirates, and it was on my birthday.
Mm-hmm.
So this would have been like, I don't know, 6 years ago today. Yeah, very first pitch he saw hit a home run, and it went crazy at Wrigley. So it is really fun to see it.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love those things.
Yeah. So Jesse Winker has agreed to terms through 2023. He was in arbitration this year,
Mm-hmm.
and they had agreed to I think $7 million with the Mariners, and he's now going to earn $14.5 million.
Not bad.
Those 2 seasons.
The Mariners are another underperforming team that I thought was just going to be so much better than they actually are too.
Yeah,
it's just a lot of a lot of teams have just been really underperforming, and then you have the Yankees just overperforming expectations. Like, yeah, I wasn't like as much as it pains me. Yeah, I knew the Yankees were going to be good, but I didn't think they were going to be this good, like potentially record-breaking good. Like, what? No, I don't like it. I really don't.
Speaking of underperforming on all levels, so the commissioner feels as though it's urgent to resolve the A's and Rays ballpark situations.
Mm-hmm.
So, the A's are looking to move to Las Vegas. Their fan attendance is so poor. The team is just doing awful. And the Rays, their lease ends after the 2027 season.
Oh,
but they don't have any idea what their next step is. And so, Robbie Boy is like, let's get your shit together, guys.
This is one thing I could potentially get on board with Manfred wanting to expedite. I hate the idea of leaving Oakland because, of course, like they were originally the Philadelphia Athletics, but still like and then they moved to Oakland, but they've been just to Oakland for so long. And they were just like rich with history, rich with winning championships, rich with always being good while not spending. Now it's different this year because like their entire payroll is not even what Garrett Cole makes. So that's terrible. That's not even just like, look at what I can do with like not a great payroll, like you gave away like 99% of your team. Like Frankie Montas is the only one, and he's probably going to be on his way soon too. So it's just like, what are we doing? It's like, I would love to see them get a better ballpark, but do we really think that if the team, it's like, do we think if they move to Vegas, that even if they still play baseball this Moneyball type way, but it being just even worse than like a normal Moneyball, like are people in Vegas going to go to this team? Like, I don't necessarily think just moving them to Vegas is suddenly going to draw revenue. You need to invest in your team, whether it be investing them in Oakland, or if you do move, you have to invest in them in Vegas.
Yeah. And I mean, the Coliseum isn't great, but at the same time, it's the Coliseum, and Vegas barely, like, they don't really even have like locals.
No, it would be
tourists.
Yeah, and I guess like the football team, like, but people always show up for friggin' football. I
Yeah.
guess like, and then the Knights, or what is the Vegas Dark,
Yeah.
whatever,
The
like
night.
the
But
Knights,
they're good.
they're good. That's the thing. And it's right on the Vegas Strip. So if you're like, oh, hey, let's get some drinks and let's go. This hockey game is right here. Where are we going to be putting this stadium? Is it going to be far? It's not going to be on the Strip. So it's like a little easier. And then the football stadium is like, the Strip is here, then there's the highway, and then it's there. So is that what they're going to be doing at the baseball too? Will it be Strip, highway, and then ballpark? I'm really not sure. They do have AAA there, and the AAA ballpark is like a little further separated from, the hub of like, Vegas and the Strip. So it's like, okay, like, do we suddenly think that people are going to want to sit in the hot Vegas sun in August to watch baseball? Or are we getting a roof? Are we getting you have to have a retractable roof if you're playing baseball in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Maybe
I'm sorry.
Chris Bryant will go to the A's if they move to Vegas. He can go back home.
That would make me think, like, if the Colorado Rockies making that splash was weird and random, I would have loved if it was Oakland that made that splash, because then you're just like, oh, he knows he's going home in like a year or two.
You guys are packing their bags. It's all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. And, the Raiders, say what you will about them. They're crazy and they have a crazy fan base, even if they're not winning.
Mm-hmm.
And the Knights are good.
Yeah.
And they are right there. I mean, you get on that roller coaster and you like go right above their arena. They're
Exactly.
fun. They have those like snazzy gold jerseys. Like, those teams are fun and have these built-in fan bases. Oakland barely has a fan base anymore, and they're certainly not going to go up to Vegas to watch them.
It doesn't really make sense. My thing would be invest in your team and build a nice stadium in Oakland for the fans that you just do have. And then the fans that, even if they're a little fair weathery, like, that's fine. Like, if you have a good team and a good stadium, people will want to go out to the ballpark. People aren't necessarily being like, well, they suck. Like, let's take my kids to this ballpark that was built for football. I've been to the Coliseum. I actually have really no problem with Coliseum. The big problem with Coliseum is that it was built for football.
Yeah.
Like, they need a stadium that's actually made for them. Like, really. That's how I feel. And the whole idea of the Rays, I think the biggest problem with the Rays is they're not actually in Tampa Bay, because the Buccaneers, outside of Brady, like, even before then, they drew a good fan base. The Lightning is incredible. Like, they're just incredible. And they're, I think it'd be like, what, 3 in a row if they win it again. So it's like back to back to back Stanley Cup championships. And you're also in Tampa Bay. So it's easier. These people have to cross this freaking bridge into St. Petersburg. And I guess the traffic can be murder. So it's like, you don't want to do all of that to go to a team that, they're pretty good, but it's just so far out of the way. And what I hear is the worst ballpark in the game.
I hate that ballpark.
Yeah, I haven't been, but I've heard not. I kind of want to low-key go just to experience how bad it is, though.
I mean, at least there are other things to do while you're there, because that ballpark is just trash.
Yeah. So you feel bad for everything. Like, fans don't want to go to that ballpark. So my thing is, build something in Tampa Bay proper, nice and new. I think you will get fans of the Tampa Bay Rays if you do that. So I don't necessarily think they need to go to Nashville, that I've heard. Or even like if we want to expand to Mexico, like a Mexico City team. Like, I don't necessarily think that these things need to happen. I think you can get fans in Tampa Bay if you are actually in Tampa Bay.
Well, they were looking at Montreal too, and then that fell through.
Oh, that was just the idea of like the sharing, though, I thought was strange. Yeah. Like, either just straight up go back and give us 2 teams back in Canada, or just. But the problem in Canada is they weren't getting fans too. Yeah. So now do we think because we're hungry for it in Montreal? It's like, but then the idea of the splitting, I always thought was very strange. So I don't know. These are issues. And then are they going to expand to like 32 teams? Like, what is all this? There's a lot. But I gotta check this out too, though. The Brewers have some City Connects. Oh, let me check these out. Let me see.
I have really mixed feelings about it.
All right, I gotta check these out. Let's see. Oh, all righty. Brew Crew. I like the Brew Crew. I think that looks pretty cool.
The font gets on my nerves.
The font is weird. It's just almost like the kind of close to the font of what the Guardians have now.
Yes.
Like, it almost looks.
Yes.
And I'm not a fan of the new Guardians font, really. I think it's weird.
And then their hat is supposed to say MKE and then 414 in the middle.
Okay.
But it just looks really
Cluttered.
sloppy. Like,
Yeah,
if you told me that 414 was in there, it would take me, I mean, if I know where it is.
Oh, you're right. You can't really see. Oh, I see how they're trying to make the 4 in the M and then the 1 and then the 4 in the K.
It just looks sloppy, but I love the colors.
The colors are very cool. I
love the grill because they are very well known for their tailgating.
Oh, really? Is that a thing?
So, the colors, the sleeves, that all looks amazing. I like that they didn't go full on blue and they're doing different pants.
Yes, that is nice because that could have been a lot overwhelmingly blue.
Yeah, because the Rockies, they overdid it with those pants, in my opinion. But if the font was just different and that hat wasn't so goofy, I would think this was perfect.
Yeah, you're right. The font is kind of cool. McCutcheon looks fantastic.
He does.
But when doesn't he? Some people can just wear it. That's like Xander Bogaerts. He can wear a uniform. Even like I have like a love-hate relationship with the Red Sox City Connect. They are like the meaningful marathon colors, but I don't even like the marathon colors. And I think those colors together are weird. I think it overwhelmingly looks like the what is it? The Bruins. Like they look like the UCLA Bruins. So I'm like, no. This is like these colors are a little more subtle than like the Red Sox blue and in yellow, which I can get a little more on. But like Xander Bogaerts looks fantastic in that uniform. Yeah. Just like you got Yelich looks great in this. But yeah, these are a little weird.
Underwhelming. I think is probably the best.
Yeah,
I'm still going with the Nationals to have the best City Connect so far.
I did really like the Nationals ones a lot. There was one that I really liked. Which one?
Liked the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, I did like that one, like the serpent ones. Yeah, those ones were really cool too. Oh yeah, they got the rock. I don't know, man. I'm a fan of those South Side ones. The pinstripe.
I like them from a distance. Up close, it looks really grainy.
Oh, does it?
Yeah, and everyone points out that it looks like it says Smith Side.
Smith Side. Let me take a peek.
Like once you look at the picture.
Oh, I can now see that because like the O and like it's very close together. Yeah.
I like them. I think they're nice, and I mean they look great in them. But like it's this weird kind of like it almost looks like when like your sweater is pilling. It kind of looks like that up close.
Oh, interesting.
So that drives me a little crazy. But they're wearing them tomorrow. They have Southside Mondays now. So
that's cool. See, the Red Sox rarely like we kind of did it like for around the marathon time, but then I remember last year at the end there were like new guys that were like, "Oh, we never got to wear them because we got traded. So can we like wear them randomly?" Like I was like, "Okay." I'd honestly rather them wear that. Like I am not really, and some people might get on me. I'm not a fan of the alternate. I am a huge home whites person, so I don't really like the red top option, like as a thing. I'm fine with the blue on the road, whatever. Do what the hell you want to do on the road. Fine. But so to me, it's like, okay, cool. Wear these on the road whenever you're going to wear an alternate jersey, because to me, it should only be home whites at home. But that's just me. I'm a purist.
Have you seen my favorite jersey for the White Sox? They're the road grays. Have you seen these?
Which ones are they?
You just look up White Sox road gray, and they've got like the script that says Chicago, and then it's got like.
Yes, I do like those.
Those are my favorite.
Yeah, because they're like subtle, and it's like not too flashy. Like sometimes uniforms can like when they like to me, I used to, but then sometimes I can't say like I used to love the Arizona Diamondbacks like in 2001, like when they won like the World Series. Like I love that. Now like there's just too much red going on. I don't really like what they're doing there. Or sometimes when it's too flashy, I'm like it just looks cartoonish.
Yeah.
Like, do I want to be wearing like a cartoonish uniform? No, I want to be like in a crisp white, like, I don't know. And I'm also like, I don't like a name on a home jersey. Like, I'm like, these are your players. You should kind of know your players' names. That's how I feel. But it's just the Red Sox and the Yankees that do it now. Of course, the Yankees are pretentious and they wear no name on the road because they think everybody should know them. Like, no, have your name on the road, please. But at home, Not a fan of it at home, and now it's just down to the Red Sox and Yankees. Up until last season, it was also the Giants that didn't have their names. But then I guess the owner of the Giants was like, "Oh, I had a young fan come up and be like, who is that person? I can't tell." And I'm like, well, the young fan should just like, I don't know, Google it. I don't know. I'm sorry. Like, I like
Number 7 Giants.
Yeah, like there we go. Sorry. Like a part of me is like when you're in your home stadium, I like no name on the back, but that's also just me.
Before we move on, did you see the just god awful like $1,000 jerseys and hats with the holes in them?
Wait, what? MLB like jersey. Let me see. This is with holes. Oh my god! It literally popped up when I clicked it.
They're so bad, and my other Red Sox girlie, Gabrielle, tweeted Chris Sale did it first, and I just about like fell out of my chair laughing.
He really did. He did.
Totally.
Wait, what is the point of this?
For over $1,000, and they're just so ugly.
Oh, and then why are they in quotes? Like they're not the Dodgers? Like Dodgers?
Maybe they just couldn't use that because it's like a designer that made them.
What is this? Also, it's like, oh, let me put this hole in this jersey so you can see my abs.
Like, they're so bad. Yeah, they.
Oh my god! Somebody like literally tweeted, "Ah, fuck! My budget was $1,029, and these are $1,030." Oh my god! Who the hell would buy this?
I don't know. They are so bad.
Oh my god! The hats cost $260. T-shirts are $355. Hoodies are $630. What is Off-White? So it's a collaboration with called Off-White.
Yeah, that's
the like who are they? Who the hell is Off-White?
I don't know, but they should stop.
They really should. Off-White, you are terrible at your job. Because what?
I think so Off-White has things in quotes like air for the Jordans they've done. Oh, okay. So why are they doing so much? These are so bad.
Oh my god, I think that like holes are their thing because I'm seeing jeans with like these kind of holes in them. So I think like the holes are like their aesthetic.
Somebody needs to take away their massive hole punch.
Oh my god. Hilarious. I can't. That's delightful news to me. Even if I had like that's more than my rent. I think it's more than my rent. Oh, sorry, guys. I can't pay rent this month. I have to buy this jerseys with holes in them. Oh, yeah. Somebody said, I think Off-White has, like air for Jordans. They've tried air. What is this? I love it. I love it because that's so bad. That is so bad. Oh, my God. I love it so much. So some hilariousness to some things that aren't so hilarious. Once again, the Angels and don't know how to spend their money properly. Go Angels. Anthony Rendon is having season-ending surgery because of course he is. Rendon knew what he was doing. He's like, I just snuck this World Series championship with this team that's going to go nowhere. I'm just going to go somewhere nowhere where the weather's better and they're going to give me a ton of money. You are a genius, sir. Genius, Anthony Rendon.
Let's just repair this wrist injury on Bay. Be great.
Absolutely. I love it. Good for Anthony in that aspect. But, oh, God, it sucks for it's just Angels, man. Angels.
Hey, but we're back to kind of funny news. At least I think this is funny. The Cubs finally snapped that streak in Atlanta. 14-game win streak. They did this on Friday. The Cubs were the first team in 23 years to stop a losing streak of 10 or more games while ending an opponent's winning streak of at least 10 games. And they ended up winning it on like a sac fly, and it was 1-0. So, I mean, I don't like the Cubs, but hey, thank you. Thank you. I thank you because I can't stand that team.
You're like, please and thank you.
Thank you, Cubs.
Oh, yeah, no, the Cubs are bad.
The Cubs are so bad. And that's going to be the Field of Dreams game. Cubs Reds, like two of the worst teams.
Just hanging out in the
following the White Sox and the Yankees. which it was meant to be.
An exciting game, at least. But okay, so the Cubs, though, like the hilarious nature of us knowing they were so bad, but then them trying to be like, we got Marcus Stroman. I know they threw a lot of money at you, but you could have like probably made that same amount of money at a team that was probably gonna win. I mean, he's injured now, so it's not like he's doing anything for the team, being good, bad, or otherwise. But it is funny when it's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go to the Cubs. It's like cool.
We wanted him on the White Sox for obvious reasons, but he hates Tony.
I don't blame him.
Duh. You know, he like personally said like he would never go anywhere with a manager like that. And I was like, awesome. Who else is holding back from being on our team because of our dinosaur manager?
It's okay. You guys got Joe Kelly because you had Tony.
You know, I love me some Joe Kelly though.
Oh, I love Joe Kelly too.
Because he's no longer wearing the like Superman Clark Kent glasses, which I was a big fan of personally. I love those. Because he's been using the pitch comm, so now he doesn't need to necessarily see
as well,
signs. So I was like, no, but like the glasses are good. You could do both.
I do love the idea of like, I don't need to see as well, but I'm still gonna hurl this thing at like 100 miles an hour at a person.
But also, I mean, what if your pitch comm goes out and you're stuck there on the mound and you don't have your glasses? Put them back on because they're really hot.
Oh no, he looked good in the glasses, but I do love how some guys are glasses or contacts because like literally like it was Jake Peavy is like blind and he was always wear contacts, but sometimes that he even said that like he still couldn't see the side.
Well, poor Ronaldo Lopez had LASIK surgery because he wasn't able to see. Speaking of which, he's been excellent in a closer role lately.
Yes, it's so good when some people can transition and have success because they were just not great in starting roles.
Yeah, he was starting and he wasn't horrible as a starter. Like I won't say he was bad, but you know, last night's game, Johnny Cueto pitched 7 scoreless innings against the Astros, and then Raylo went out and did the 2 innings and closed it out with no run.
It can be great when that happens for people. Absolutely. I'm all for that. That could be what Tanner Houck is for the Red Sox. Like he could end up becoming a great closer because I don't really think he has the pitch mix to be a successful starter. But hopefully he can prove me wrong in that. But yeah. So we did talk a little bit about Justin Upton, but then of course some bad news. Hyun-Jin Ryu underwent Tommy John surgery, out of course 12 to 18 months, and it's crazy though. Yeah, that's a huge blow. But also, he doesn't even throw abnormally had. So it's interesting that it just can happen to like any elbow, really. Yeah, it doesn't matter. So I mean, those are huge. I'll talk about it again because every time we talk about somebody else having Tommy John, it's like it's a friggin' epidemic. Like everybody's getting it. It's like you get a Tommy John, you get a Tommy John, you get.
You know, we mentioned Liam Hendricks earlier. He's never had Tommy John surgery, and he's got that tightness, his forearm tightness, and I'm just like, is this going to lead to Tommy John? Are we not freaking out? Are we freaking out? What are we doing here? Because that doesn't sound very good right now. And they like immediately put him on the injured list, where Tony is known for not putting his guys on the injured list, and then they miss like 5 games, and then they're going on a 10-day stint. So I'm a little scared right now.
Yeah, of course. Just because anytime that you do say, or we might not need Tommy John, you need Tommy John. Like that's what they did with Sale. They kind of took. He could be granted he sneezes and there's an issue, but like before that, he could have come back earlier had he just gotten Tommy John.
Yeah.
Like when they were like, oh, we're gonna like try to. No, don't even at this point. Don't try because it's never gonna work. Just get it at this point,
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Yeah, it's scary for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. So Lorenzo Cain, DFA'd on Saturday, which, he hasn't been great, especially this season. He's not what he used to be. But the Brewers did something kind of cool. It was a mutual decision, and they waited until he had received his 10 years of service.
That's awesome.
And then they were, they kind of played a bunch of like highlight reels of him throughout the game.
That's
Players
so
were
cool.
kind of honoring him throughout the game. And like you said, it was a mutual decision. They knew it was coming. He knew it was coming. So I respect that they did hold out so he could reach his 10 years, because that is really important to any player, honestly.
Oh, I
So
agree.
I just,
Yeah.
I loved
Mhm.
him. He's a good dude, even if he wasn't great for the Brewers. He's still one of those guys that was fun to watch. I'm happy that I got to see him play, at least.
Yeah.
So
No,
we just
absolutely.
saw him this year.
Yeah, and those 10 years are great because of course you always had negative comments on anything on Twitter, but like you just had somebody say, "Oh, he's made over $90 million. Like, why do we think that he cares about getting however?" Because it's like I think it's like they can continually make about 90,000 a year, which is I would love somebody to just hand me 90,000 for the year. So it's like they're being like, well, the money. I don't think it's just necessarily the money. This is going to take care of him and his family on health insurance. And I get he has $90 million. He could probably pay for it, but like if you still don't know, you don't know how he's been handling his money. Like you really don't know. This is something that's going to protect him and his family moving forward. And it's an honor to get those 10 years as well. So it's like there's like a pride factor into it as well, I would believe.
Yeah, he's 36. He just turned 36 in April. I was curious as to how old he was, but
Yeah,
I'm happy that it was the best outcome.
Oh, absolutely. And if another team wants to take a chance on him and he wants to continue to play baseball, cool, and every bit of luck to him. That would be fantastic. Absolutely. And some other nice news. We have Zimmerman. He's the first person to be number retired in DC. So that's pretty cool. I think it was number 11. I think that's what Ryan Zimmerman. Yeah, so that's pretty cool to have that and just what he did. He was his entire career there, won a championship. So
he's like their franchise player. When you think of a Nationals player, I think in your head you're going to say Ryan Zimmerman.
Oh, absolutely, because Bryce Harper just decided to
I
leave.
have his bobblehead. I went to
That's
a
so cute.
Ryan Zimmerman bobblehead game in DC once.
Love it. Like I went to DC to see the Nationals in their inaugural season, and that was when they were still in RFK Stadium. Talk about a shitty stadium.
Yeah.
So I haven't been to Nationals ballpark, but I would like to get there.
It's nice. It's really nice.
Yeah, I've heard it's a really nice ballpark for sure. Absolutely.
I saw Andrew McCutchen there when he was playing on the Giants.
Very cool.
My birthday.
Look
I
like
was around my birthday.
I like it.
Okay.
So some more injury news. Manny Machado helped off the field with an apparent ankle injury in today's game. Looked as though he rolled his left ankle trying to get to the first base bag. Hopefully it's not something. I mean, there's also the part of me that says I hope it's career ending because you suck. I hope.
I'm bitter about him anyway. So
he's an a-hole. So maybe it's like you ruined somebody else's career, but at the same time, he's so damn good, and he was on like a MVP like pace this season. And anybody that thinks that Manny Machado is not good at baseball are just people that hate him for the multitude of things that he's done. I mean, he's really, really good at playing baseball. He's also probably a giant asshole.
Probably.
So
well, we talked about this shutout, so. Aside from, happy Father's Day.
Yes, to everybody out there listening. Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't have any dads that raised me on baseball. It was my aunt. But hey, my grandpa, big baseball person, husband, big baseball person, both quality dads. So
that's always good. Yeah, no, my mom raised me on baseball too. My dad is now a big baseball fan because he doesn't really have a choice. So that type of a thing. But yeah, so yeah, absolutely. I FaceTimed my daddy earlier today. He's having a good day. They're probably catching the game late because they went for brunch this morning. So
yeah, we're going to celebrate birthday Father's Day tomorrow with the White Sox. They're playing the Blue Jays. My husband will suffer through it and said, I might wear my Blue Jays shirt. I was like, you are going to be disowned by all of your friends that will be there.
Oh, well, who does he?
He was like, you should wear yours. We can be twins. And I was like, no.
Oh, what is the Blue Jays jersey he has?
Oh, it's just a shirt.
Oh, just a shirt. It's not somebody's.
We went to Canada for our honeymoon and spent part of it in
fun.
Toronto. And he has an aunt that's up in Hamilton, so kind of close.
Oh yeah, close by
to Toronto, and she got us matching Blue Jays shirts.
That's cute.
So that we could fit in Toronto. But I was like, honey, it's October. They're not playing right now.
Yeah, they're not playing baseball.
Like it was like mid-October, and I was like, they're not playing anymore.
No, it's a thought that counts, though.
But it's sweet. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh, I have a soft spot for the Jays.
I do too.
Yeah, I love the city of Toronto, so.
I do too. My kids are pumped because not only do they get to see the White Sox, who are their favorite, but my son is like, we get to see Bo and we get to see Vladdy Jr. And I'm like, hush. And he's like, I brought my baseball gloves so I can catch a Vladdy home run. And I was like, shut up.
It's like, well, a Vladdy home run when we're up by 10 runs.
Yes, you're going to get an Adam Engel ball if he plays right field tomorrow, and you're going to be happy.
Love it.
Oh, before we leave, I do have to show this birthday card that my husband made for me that Jason Benetti has seen and quote tweeted.
Oh my God, that's so cute. He made that?
He did.
Oh my
God. On
God.
the inside, he told me to not tweet that part because Steve Stone will block me, but it says, the only two people on this team who aren't a disappointment.
Oh, that is too cute. That is so cute, actually. Oh my God. I love like things that you know that the person that you're with is going to love and something that's handmade. And I think that's so cute.
Yeah, he hand makes all of his cards because he's a phenomenal artist.
That's absolutely incredible. Well, that's cool. That's a perfect way to end this on a happy birthday. Hopefully you get a birthday win for your team. That would just be great for you. And they can start playing baseball. But then again, it's so hard when you have your injuries.
Yeah. But yeah, so happy birthday to me. Happy Father's Day to the dads. Happy Juneteenth as well.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely to that as well. It's a good overall day. So let's continue it with a White Sox win for you.
Yes, Kopech, do it.
All right. Bye, everybody.